The Alien franchise has always been about terrifying space exploration, creepy creatures, and the chilling idea of humanity pushing too far into the unknown. But now, with Alien Earth, the series has done something completely unexpected. It officially made a 2000s animated movie part of its canon. Yes, you read that right. An installment in the Alien universe now includes a reference to Ice Age, the beloved family animated movie, and it's not just a throwaway Easter egg. Plays an actual role in the plot. The Alien universe is nearly 50 years old, starting with Ridley Scott's groundbreaking 1979 film that redefined the sci-fi and horror genres. That movie gave audiences a claustrophobic nightmare aboard the Nostromo, setting the tone for decades of sequels, prequels, and spin-offs. Over the years, we've seen colonies on distant planets, grimy mining ships, and advanced synthetic life. But until now, we've never really seen Earth in the Alien timeline in a fully fleshed-out way. That's where Alien Earth comes in. For the first time, the franchise shifts its setting to our home planet, offering a unique look at what life might be like roughly 100 years from now. The story takes place in the year 2120, just before the events of the original Alien movie, and it paints a picture of an Earth that feels strangely familiar despite the technological leaps and space travel advancements. We see a future filled with artificial intelligence, synthetic humans, and interplanetary opportunities, but the culture itself hasn't changed as much as you might expect. Instead of imagining a completely alien culture, Alien Earth creator Noah Hawley chooses to keep many elements of our current world intact. People still play basketball, listen to hip-hop, and surprisingly, kids are still watching Ice Age, a movie that would be well over a century old by the time the show's events unfold. It's a fun, almost absurd detail, but it's also very Hawley, using an oddly specific pop culture reference to build a deeper emotional connection between characters. This choice comes into play with two of the show's main characters, Wendy, played by Sydney Chandler, and her brother Joe, Alex Lawther. In their childhood, they bonded over Ice Age, continental drift, particularly one silly moment where Sid the Sloth mishears the word fury as furry. It's the kind of harmless joke that sticks in your memory forever, and for these siblings, it became a shared point of nostalgia. In episode 1 of Alien Earth, we see them laughing together over that exact scene, showing a lighter side of their relationship in a world that otherwise feels cold and corporate. At first, it just seems like a touching nod to their shared past, giving us insight into who they are and how much they mean to each other. But Hawley doesn't stop there. He brings the moment back later in a much more meaningful way. In episode 2, Joe tries to resign from his job as a medic so he can leave Earth for Mars and attend medical school. Unfortunately, in this corporate-controlled future, even quitting isn't straightforward. While Wendy watches him through surveillance, Joe argues with a robot that refuses to accept his resignation. Frustrated, he blurts out, "Have a heart or face my fury." That's when the Ice Age connection kicks in. In a completely unexpected move, Wendy reaches out, touches the screen, and rewrites the robot's code on the spot so that it responds, "Or face your furry what?" It's the same gag from Ice Age, continental drift, but in this moment, it's more than just a laugh. It's a powerful callback to their childhood bond. For Joe, it's a shocking moment because it shows Wendy's potential in a whole new light. Her ability to override and reprogram a robot so casually hints at her hybrid capabilities, something that could be a major factor in where Alien Earth's story goes next. But for the audience, it's also a reminder that in a world dominated by AI, corporate greed, and technological control, human connections, even ones based on century-old kids' movies, still matter. What's fascinating about this choice is how it reflects the cultural stagnation in the Alien universe. The fact that children in 2120 are still watching Ice Age suggests that new cultural output may have slowed to a crawl, overshadowed by industrial and technological priorities. With so much focus on survival, space exploration, and synthetic development, the arts may have taken a back seat. People cling to the same old entertainment, finding comfort in familiar stories. A subtle but clever commentary by Hawley. It also raises fun questions about canon. Since Alien Earth directly references Ice Age and uses an actual scene from Ice Age, continental drift, it technically means that the Ice Age films exist within the Alien timeline. That makes them part of the franchise's official canon, in the same way that other pop culture references in long-running sci-fi series can cement unexpected crossovers. It's almost surreal to think that somewhere in the same fictional universe where xenomorphs hunt humans, Sid the Sloth is still making kids laugh. Hawley's decision fits with his trademark style, blending genre storytelling with personal and emotional moments. It's not just about space horror. It's about people and the small pieces of humanity they hold on to, even in the most extreme circumstances. The Ice Age callback isn't just a random joke. It's a bridge between the past and future, showing how memory and shared experience can still influence the present, even in a hyper-technological age. In the grand scheme of Alien, Earth, the reference may seem small, but it's a brilliant example of how details can add emotional depth to sci-fi storytelling. Instead of giving us a sterile, unrecognizable future, Hawley makes Earth in 2120 feel lived in and relatable. The fact that we can watch these characters smile over a joke we ourselves recognize makes them feel more real, which, in turn, makes the danger they face more impactful. And as unusual as it may be, the inclusion of Ice Age actually works thematically. Both Alien and Ice Age deal with survival in dangerous environments. One just happens to be a lot funnier and safer for children. In both stories, unlikely groups come together to face threats much bigger than themselves. That's probably not what the creators of Ice Age imagined when they made the film, but it's a neat parallel that enriches the viewing experience for fans who notice it. The moment also shows how the Alien franchise is evolving under Hawley's direction. Instead of sticking only to the expected beats, horror, action, corporate conspiracy, he's weaving in humor, nostalgia, and cultural commentary. That's a risk for a series known for being dark and intense, but so far, it's paying off. By grounding the story in small human moments, he makes the bigger sci-fi elements hit harder. So whether you think it's hilarious, weird, or genius, there's no denying that Alien Earth just did something no one saw coming. It made Ice Age part of official Alien canon. And if you're a fan of both, that's a crossover you never knew you needed.